Hello everyone. In this demo, we will look at the Nirmata AWS adapter for Kyverno. This enables fetching of cloud configuration and making it available for policy enforcement and helps fully automate security and compliance of Amazon EKS clusters. The adapter was recently open sourced under Nirmata. Let's go through the Getting Started guide. We will follow this guide to install the Kyverno AWS adapter. Let's look at the prerequisites. To fetch the EKS cluster configuration, the adapter needs the following permissions. Create an IAM policy with these permissions. Next, we'll need an IAM OIDC provider for the cluster so that we can provide this reference in the IAM role. And then finally, we have to create the IAM role. We create a service account in the Nirmata AWS adapter namespace and attach it to our cluster. This also creates a new role, Nirmata adapter role, and attach it to the policy that we created above. Next, we'll move on to installing the Helm chart itself. I have executed the prerequisite steps. Let's look at the values YAML file we need to provide for the Helm install command. So here we specify the name and region of our EKS cluster. This is the role we just created in the prerequisite steps. And this will create a new service account Nirmata AWS adapter with all the right role bindings and cluster role bindings. Coming back to the Getting Started guide, we will add the Helm repo and update it. Now we'll install the chart using the Helm install command. To the Helm install command, we'll provide the myvalues YAML file in the namespace Nirmata AWS adapter and create if the namespace does not exist. Now our AWS adapter chart version 0.11 is installed. Let's take a look at the adapter ports. The adapter ports are running. Now let's look at the AWS adapter config object that holds key configuration information about our EKS cluster. Now we will see how you can view all of this information centrally from the Nirmata Policy Manager. If you have onboarded your cluster onto the Nirmata Policy Manager, you will see the cluster listed. These are some of the cluster details. I have an EKS cluster with node count 2. The Kyverno engine is healthy, and there are no policies that are applied to this cluster yet. I have some EKS best practices policies present here. We will apply all of these policies to our cluster. Let's look at the policies. So we have about 6 policies for the EKS best practices here, and all of them are in audit mode. Now, if we go back to the Nirmata Policy Manager, we can view the policy reports for the EKS best practices. Here we'll filter for our cluster, which is adapter demo. Let's look at one of these policies. We can also view the YAML, the policy that has been applied. So this checks for a department tag to be present on the EKS cluster. And this is a successful policy. Let's look at one of the policies that failed. So the description is the cluster endpoint should not be public, and we get a message that why this particular policy failed. So we saw how we can use the Kyverno adapter for AWS and write Kyverno policies to enforce EKS best practices or any other compliance or governance related enforcement for your EKS cluster. And that's it for the demo. Thank you.